think the most important thing that the Institute has done in helping to create the region we have today is to help reinforce the notion that in a metropolitan area, in this metropolitan area, we all share a common fate. It's really easy to overlook. You know, we're all kind of tied to where we are, where we live, where we play, where our friends are. And I think we forget the fact that really collectively, this economy is a reflection of all of us. The environment is a reflection of all that we choose to do. Anything that really matters to us has a metropolitan scale of impact and importance. And I think the Institute has been the only institution, the only organization with a true metropolitan span of interest for the last 20 years.
I think we have a much more maybe cohesive understanding of the region than we would have or than we did before the Institute. So I think the decisions that are made at Metro, as well as some of the bi-state decisions that are made in a different way than they would have been or were before the Institute.
IMS has been very important for this region because it builds bridges, open doors for communication that normally are not available for them if they have to go through governmental channels. It really provides an open forum.
The Institute of Metropolitan Studies plays a vital role in our region in its ability to accumulate and disseminate credible information that is very useful to our decision and policy makers.
IMS has all sorts of ways that it's affected the region. The first, as far as I'm concerned, is it gave us a better sense that we are a region and that all the different people and places that make up the greater metropolitan area are connected to each other in deep and important ways.
The Institute has underscored this notion that we live in a much broader region that collectively is part of a metropolitan area, and that's something that may be unique.
This is a pretty spectacular community we have here in terms of the natural beauty, in terms of the human resource and all, and I think it's important that we have people that are committed to this region talking about what's important to them. The role of the Institute is to funnel some of that creative energy into tangible projects like the Greater Portland Pulse or First Stop Portland, and make those ideas really tangible. I'm really concerned about what's going on environmentally and what the impact of those environmental changes could have on this particular community, and so we've got to have people that are remaining committed to holding their fingers up to the wind and finding out where those winds are blowing and say, we've got to make things different if we're going to have the same quality of life that we want to have here.
Many of the things that we really care about most today, sustainability, equity, climate change, these kinds of issues aren't going to be solved by any single institution or jurisdiction. And in many ways they're going to be solved a metropolitan area at a time. Nations aren't going to respond as quickly as conditions require. We're going to have to find local solutions, and the Institute as a convener is really in the perfect position to help this region take the steps it needs to take on the most pressing issues we're going to face in the decades ahead.
By tackling issues of regional research, in a real sense, sets the pace for other metropolitan regions, not only throughout this country and the continent, but globally.
We have significant challenges today. We have problems of transportation, aging infrastructures, water problems. IMS in reality is going to emerge more and more as a central entity where many of these difficult issues could be debated and discussed.
If we can convene and discuss our commonalities and our strengths and weaknesses, we can come to viable solutions in a very partnership-like manner.
I believe that Portland will be an increasingly important place in the world. We have delegations from other cities and countries visiting us really weekly in Portland, trying to understand what we're doing and creating, I think, really a smarter future in terms of urban form and the way that we tackle all the kinds of problems that exist in a rapidly urbanizing world.
Our social, cultural, economic structure continues to change very rapidly. Having something like this as an opportunity to capture the imaginations of people, to explore and understand our current condition, to imagine our future will be priceless, absolutely priceless.